Welcome back, folks. It's the Filthy Casuals MMA podcast. We're back in your lives from a long hiatus. That Brazil Olympic trip, I think we all caught that Zika. We've been out for a couple of weeks, but we're back with a jam-packed, rapid-fire episode. This is Jay Schwa. I'm with the man to my right.
A-Tart, the God.
The man to my left.
Jay-Z, King of Queso.
Back at it
Queso.
again with so much energy. And let's jump into this because, man, we got a lot to get into. And let's start off. News coming in hot off the presses. UFC 202, biggest pay-per-view of all time. And we haven't had a chance to break that down. I don't even know where we should start. Should we start at the very top?
Sure. We're going to talk about the Nate Conner match.
Let's the folks have been wondering. They've been waiting at home. They've been sending us messages. How do we feel about Diaz McGregor 2? Who wants to jump in on this first, man? We had a decision go Connor's way, and a majority, I think, agree that Conor won. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Well, I saw it when I first watched it. My Diaz love might have skewed me a little. And I thought he might have had a chance to win. After watching it the second time, I think the best that could happen for Diaz was a draw.
Yeah.
I don't think anything in the fight said he won. Overall, it was really, really close. But I think 1-2 Conor, 3 clearly Diaz. Don't think it was a 10-8-3. 4 is very close round to me.
I agree with that.
It's almost closer than 2, I would say. And I've caught some shit. These fucking YouTube commenters
I was about to say,
battle me.
You're on that YouTube just battling it with the heathens.
These super Conor fans want to say that 4 was just I think a lot of these guys just watch it one time and then they don't watch it again and they just go by what they read and stuff. When you go back and watch it a second time, you get a clear view of the fight. My love for Diaz and stuff isn't as much when I'm just watching it unbiasedly.
Right. And a lot of people probably watch it the first time with a group of people or
Right.
at a bar.
And if you got mostly Conor fans and he did a couple things around,
you got the crowd reaction. Yep.
So anyway, and then obviously Diaz, I think, had 5. So
yep.
That 4, if you call it 10-10 or something, that makes it a draw. But I'm not opposed to the Conor decision, and it was a great fight. I can't wait for the third one.
Now, you know what? We had someone over here on the podcast that was popping a lot of shit on Conor McGregor, and he's real quiet right now.
Nice, still.
Where you at, Jay?
I thought it was a draw.
This motherfucker is lying through his teeth.
I thought it was a draw.
I don't mind a draw.
Have you gone back and watched it?
Yeah.
So you've watched it multiple times. You call draw.
Watched the fight twice.
Now, do you think a third fight should happen? Or in your eyes, it's pretty much proven
I think at
Diaz
the end of
is
the
better?
fight, I think they both called it correctly, and they were both mutual at 155. I think that's perfect. Because I think that's the weight that Conor should be at anyway, because he sucks out too deep at 45 anyway. He looks anorexic.
mean, the guy's always made weight, and he's the champion.
But they're right. And if they're thinking about money, because both of them think about money, they're absolutely right by holding off, by waiting for a while. When is that trilogy going to happen? Whatever. That's going to even break this last record, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with timing because this came back to back.
But going back to the main question, I thought it was a draw. And in a championship fight, you shouldn't be running away like that.
This guy will not give him any credit.
I give him all the credit in the world. He won. So he came out, he fought, he changed his plan.
He just said draw. He didn't say Diaz won. I don't think that's outrageous.
He fought smart. He fought smart because he couldn't put the size on, and he couldn't put the insane cardio in and still be at that weight. We already had that discussion. I knew that's exactly how it was going to happen. So he did the perfect game plan by going out and using his energy correctly, which is the only reason why it lasted that long. But Nate took him into deep waters when he started working that body.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think, like you said, we did the preview show. I did not think Conor was going to use it. I didn't think. I thought he was too much of a killer to go with the smart game plan. I really think that's the only way you can beat Nate.
That fight IQ.
Is if he goes for the legs and stuff, that's the only way you can beat Nate. And if Nate fucking gets a clue one of these days and checks kicks, I think Conor's fucked.
Yep.
But they've shown
I mean, he's been in the game forever.
Yeah. But that also...
You know what I think,
and even still, he almost pulled it.
You know what I think, though? I think more than that, you know, I would suggest to Nate, look, man, in the time off, work on your takedowns. Absolutely. All this dude, if he gets takedowns, well, fuck the leg kicks. Take the takedowns, and what's Conor gonna do then? Nate's way bigger. I think dude would be in ultra deep water at that point. I would tell him to do that. Fuck checking leg kicks. I mean, obviously you need to probably start doing that, but I would tell him get that wrestling on point, get them takedowns right.
How about this? Fuck it, do both,
dude. He's one of the guys that holds one of the top performance of the night, whatever. Either way, he does. I don't think he needs to shoot in for takedowns at all. Here's my opinion. What he needs to work on: 1, check leg kicks or throw more leg kicks, get more leg kicks in there. 2, do that same shit that Lozon did with his face and the scar tissue stuff and get that taken care of.
His brother did it too, didn't he?
I'm saying like you need. Here's what I was saying in the pre-fight breakdown is that everyone knows Nate's thing. Everyone knows dude's style, and he comes with the same shit. If he adds a couple elements, like he adds a little wrestling, adds some sort of takedown offense, that's just something extra that he can add to the arsenal that people wouldn't expect.
It'll help.
That would be huge in a McGregor fight.
But are we looking at a guy that's on the tail end of his career or closer to it on that side?
Barely
on
past.
That 75 to 100.
30.
Yeah, barely.
I mean, but how much damage can the dude take? Right. How much damage can his face take?
I agree. That scar tissue thing, that'd be great if he could.
And he's a multimillionaire now.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to go get his face busted up.
Well, I want to address a lot of flack that these lowlights were talking on McGregor on his whole runaway thing. Now, I don't like these dudes running away.
I don't like it.
But it is an adjustment that was made in the fight that no one's talking about. When he was hurt in the first fight, what'd he do? He dove for a takedown and got worked on the ground. This time when he got in trouble, he said, I can't dive in on this dude again. So he made an adjustment, and he went with the jog around.
He's going to run?
The jog around. No, it's a jog around, reset.
I have to say, Josh, your love for Conor is coming more and more apparent.
No, I'm just saying, no one's talking about it. They want to talk about it like it's a bad thing. Like,
I have to bring this up,
this motherfucker has to do something.
You were so against Condit doing it against Nick. It doesn't 100%. Make sense that you're taking 100%. The other side now.
Yeah. No, well, here's the difference.
It's Caleb Starn shit.
Here's the difference. That motherfucking McGregor threw down with the dude.
Absolutely.
Damn near the whole thing, where Condit, from the fucking minute that bell rung, was on his horse. Barely engaging. He'd throw like 2 punches, and he'd dip out, and he'd go right back. Throw 2 punches, dip out. And this only happened with McGregor at the very end of the fight, at the very end of the rounds, when he was pure exhausted after getting pummeled, and dude didn't have any other options. It was a duck out and a reset, last resort.
I understand that.
There was
I give him credit for, because if it would have happened the same way the first time, that should have been over at the end of the 3rd round or whatever, or the end of the 2nd round, same as the first fight. So that is an adjustment people aren't commenting on.
How many times did it happen?
At least
3.
6 times.
Yeah. And there was a dip out, and then another dip out, and another dip out to reset. That's what pisses me off.
There was one I was a little frustrated about.
I was frustrated with all of them.
So what do you?
Because I hate that shit. But I'm saying I think it was a smart move, because his other option was what? Stand up against the fence and get pummeled.
Well, what I'm saying,
for a takedown and get
the only other option is
you didn't say Condit's was a smart move though.
Well, no, I mean it's a smart move.
That was his way to win.
It's a smart move, but you can't do it no, that was his game plan from the beginning. Like the whole time is let me hit him with two little combos and dip out every single time.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't.
Reset every exchange from the first bell to the last bell. Where Conor only did that when he was in trouble at the end of the fights.
Conor should have got carded and lost 10% of his
That's absurd. That's absurd.
I wasn't. I mean, it wasn't that big.
Condit wasn't.
There was one I was kind of like.
Condit wasn't staying in the pocket and banging, where McGregor was in there throwing.
We need to give Conor a little more credit in that. It wasn't like he was like Jay said, the Caleb Starn shit. He wasn't running like that. He was getting his shots in too.
Condit?
Yeah.
If you go watch the highlight video of that fight, it's all of about 12 seconds.
You know what?
Because Condit barely did shit in that fight.
Let's do we'll do a fight breakdown of that.
That's
one.
1, 2, 4.
We'll do a retro review.
Yeah, we'll do a retro review of that shit.
I'm down. It's one of the most frustrating fights of all time.
We're gonna call that shit
though.
fucking step for step.
So, all right. Do we're past the McGregor Diaz. We need to do this rematch ASAP, but you know it ain't gonna happen for at least 6 months.
Don't need to do it for like a year and a half or 2.
Real quick,
man, you got to keep that momentum.
You talking
rolling.
about the third fight?
Yeah.
This, like Jay said, I definitely think he can break the record, but the pressure's on Conor because Nate ain't fighting.
No, Nate ain't touching anything.
So Conor, if he fights Eddie Alvarez at MSG,
he'll get killed.
If he loses that, okay, I would assume, I don't know, maybe he would do the Nate fight after. All right, we had technical difficulties. Back to what I was saying. I don't know exactly where I was at, but I know I just said if he lost to Alvarez and then he tried to defend his belt against Aldo and lost that, I don't know how that would affect, or even maybe just one of those two a loss, how that would affect the Nate trilogy once they fought. But I definitely think if he wins both those, that Nate fight's going to be through the fucking roof.
Yes.
Because Conor will be ascending even higher.
Yes.
So that could
especially because it'd be for a title. If they do it at 155,
right?
That's for a title,
and he'll have 2 belts.
Yes,
and he'll have defended the other one. So obviously, a lot can play into how that sells. Either way, it's going to be a great selling fight. But if Conor wins those next 2 fights, that Nate fight might be over $2 million.
That'd be silly, absolutely silly.
But they need to wait a while and do it. They don't want to run back to back.
If he defended it would be at least middle of next year if he fought those 2 fights.
At least 2018.
2018?
Yeah, hook it up. 2018.
Good Lord.
This Jay's a nutcase.
Yeah, leave him wondering, man.
All right, well, we'll move on from that. We can talk about a whole podcast on that fight alone, but we don't have time for that. We got to jump into the next one, which was the co-main event, UFC 202, Rumble. Johnson bringing a Rumble to Glover. Man, 13 seconds. Killed him dead, Jay.
Yeah, it was nasty.
That shit was ultra nasty.
It was set up
Check
perfect.
that YouTube account. We got the reaction video out there. Pretty wild.
When Rumble stepped in, it's still perfect where he just slapped.
Man,
I
picked Glover in that fight.
He slapped dude's hand down.
Lost cash
and just
on that thing.
opened up a hole and just punched a fucking hole right through him.
Yeah, that tooth is still in orbit, by the way.
I think his camp tried to say it wasn't his tooth. I don't know what the hell that was, but I'm still, even though they said it wasn't his tooth, I'm going with it was his tooth.
That was definitely a tooth.
So, yeah, that was...
Either that or his soul was leaving his body in a small, white
Yeah, it was beautiful.
tablet.
It's crazy. We saw Jones, when he fought Glover, unleash several elbows and shit to dude, and it didn't really even phase him. It cut him a little bit. Fucking pulled his shoulder out of socket. This fucking Rumble touches him. Them motherfuckers out cold.
Dead.
It just shows you that Rumble power is unprecedented, man.
The thing is unbelievable. So, yeah, that shit was crazy. There really isn't much other than talk about other than the pure demolition that he brought to Glover. So that guy's going to be out for a while. Get his head reattached to his shoulders.
We can talk about who does Rumble fight next.
I mean, you got to
going Jones or you going DC?
No, you got to go DC. Man. Fuck Jones.
Yeah, Jones is.
All right, good.
He did post
an
an Instagram video yesterday of him doing a little boxing with Six Gun. John Jones.
Yeah. Good Lord, get him out of here. I don't even want to bring his name up.
He's still got to deal with fucking NSAC.
I don't even want to talk about him. Anyway. He's a joke. Let's move on. This probably was the best highlight of Cerrone's incredible lengthy career with his little combo piece he put on Rick's story. That thing, woo, was it pretty? Jay?
Best combo.
It was
that shit was video game-esque, yes?
It was so textbook. Like, you can't get any better than that.
You really can't. It's almost like it looks scripted.
Yeah.
Like they were like, all right, you do this, and then I'm going to do this. And
I can't. I don't know.
Look at this.
I can't even describe
it.
No,
it looks like he's deep in thought, but he's got nothing really to say about it.
I like Cowboy at 170. I don't like him at 55 anymore.
We got huge Cowboy 170 news we'll jump into later in the podcast. We won't touch on it now.
Yeah,
yeah. I think he 170 from here on out.
Man, oh man,
Guy's
the
a fucking
train
animal.
is still rolling.
and I think also too with how he goes into these fights, like the energy's there. His head is there. Like depleting himself that bad is like messing with his cognitive function.
Everything that fucked him up at 155 goes away at 170.
Yeah, it's like
that was holding him back.
Yeah, man. If you have not seen this fight, look it up on any of your social media accounts. The highlights incredible.
The gift it's one of the best MMA gifts you'll ever see.
No doubt.
And they made it the Super Saiyan thing.
Yeah.
Where that made it even better. So
thing was incredible. Last thing I want to touch on this card. Well, two more things, and then we'll move on real quick. One, Cody come in, smashed another Japanese can in record time.
Beat him quicker than Cruz did.
That thing was, I mean, he's just trailblazing
He's another one.
through.
He's like the Rumble of the 135 division.
Yeah, he is. He's killing everybody.
He's going to be tough. But
man,
then
you got to put him in there with Cruz ASAP, right?
Yeah, and then Cruz is talking about going to 145 like he's scared as shit.
I don't think he's scared, but
well, why is he talking about?
Would you pick Mr. Cody No Love?
Yeah.
You picking him over Cruz?
I think his feet are fast enough, and his punches.
Feet too fast, can't see me coming.
Yep. That's class. What is that from?
You know what that's from. Snaps, baby.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I think Cody can catch him.
I do too.
I don't think, like, you talk about the trilogy of wars with Faber. Faber, I mean, he's great, but he's not near as fast as Cody.
We got Cody, huh? Cody over Cruz?
Well, here's the thing. I think overall, obviously, Cruz has a better movement, but Cody just has to hit him hard once. I mean, so
oh yeah.
The only problem is if he doesn't catch him the first round or two, he's probably gonna get slower and more tired. But that's 2 whole rounds. He's got to be able to hit him once, and then that's all it takes to me. I mean, I don't think Cruz is gonna do anything to him. What's he gonna do?
Man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I guess he could wrestle fuck him.
I guess.
We never seen Cody on the ground, really.
Just confuse him with all that damn movement, all that shuffling around and shit. Well, all right. Well, that's another exciting prospect around the corner. We'll talk about one little thing. Artem,
who you got? You got Cruz in that fight?
I'm gonna take Cruz for now.
All right.
Take Cruz.
Via decision.
Yeah, decision. I think he might just come with too much. So, but yeah, Artem, and then Nate Diaz's boy. That fight happened. Boring as shit. Nothing really went down. Kind of laid the blueprint for what happened in the main event with them leg kicks first.
Yeah,
202 was great. That was the low point of it, though.
Yeah, I don't even really want to say anything more than that. Keep it moving. Last thing I want to touch on this card, not really talked about, very overlooked, but we had Lorenz Larkin come in and absolutely run through Magny.
Loved it.
With some absurd 300 chest kicks, blew this dude out the water. Man, just crush this guy. TKO, round 1.
And he was that made him a free agent.
And he's a free agent.
What a great way to enter free agency.
Man, he's just handled business there.
That was awesome. I think that destroying of Magny gets him a top 5 fight. Because what was Magny? He had to have been up there.
Magny, yeah, he's up there. He's probably like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
He was 7.
So,
6
yeah.
or 7. Yeah.
So
they need to get that guy a little push, man, because Larkin's got very entertaining fights. I like that guy.
He's been turning the corner this last couple.
Yeah. He looked very, very crisp. Everything he threw had a lot of intention behind it, and it was textbook.
Yeah,
couldn't have got any better.
Loving Larkin now.
And just
couldn't
like
get any better.
Just like Cerrone going up to 170. Him going down to 170 has helped him tremendously, too, because 185 he's a little undersized, and I think he's got so much power 170 now.
And the speed.
Yeah. He's getting it done. All right, well, we're going to move on. We took out a big chunk with that UFC 202 breakdown.
202 was better than 200, too, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Way better. Way better.
So let's move on. Speaking of free agency with Larkin here, let's talk about a free agent that just got signed. Big news. We got Rory No Nose McDonald making an appearance on Bellator last week. New signing there. How we feel about that? Rory and Bellator?
I don't know. I mean, I would if this was like last year, I'd be like, how the fuck did the UFC get rid of him? But his last couple performances, man, have been pretty shitty. That nose has gotten worse.
He's also fighting the best the UFC has to offer.
Right, but that's all he's going to get from here on out. He's reached that pinnacle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be cool. I don't mind the move now. I know dude's finally found his vocal cord since he went to Bellator.
Yeah, suddenly this
guy's
motherfucker got
off.
them Twitter fingers out there just going nuts.
He never said one word in UFC, never called anyone out. He goes to Bellator. I don't know whether they said, hey, part of the contract was to fucking start tweeting.
Yeah,
but this fucking guy is unreal
running his
now.
mouth. He's out there tweeting about Lawler being on roids and all this shit.
Yeah, and he said he's got a good source. I mean, this fucking USADA is crushing everyone, and they give Lawler a pass. Come on, man.
Yeah, like I said before, I think that he finally got to a point where he felt safe enough to start talking, and he's just talking.
Well, he's not in there. He's not in that league anymore. So now he's gonna talk a bunch of shit. Now he's trying to do super fights in Bellator. He's calling out all sorts of random people in other weight classes. The hell's this guy's deal, man?
His super fights in Bellator include like Michael Chandler. And,
yeah.
I mean, these aren't exactly, It's not, yeah. Also, I find it hilarious. Dude comes over, they announce his signing, and then immediately afterwards, he's like, yeah, I need time for my nose to recover. I probably won't fight until next summer. Right.
Dude, that's like 10 months. Any momentum you had of announcing your Bellator deal is out the window. If you don't fight for a fucking year afterwards.
Absolutely. He's going to be all this Twitter, unless he keeps it up, all this shit he's saying now won't even be
the
remembered.
Fuck?
Yeah.
This shit's crazy. So we got Rory at Bellator. Is this a bigger signing than Ben Hendo? Jay, what you think?
I think so. I don't think there was a whole lot there for Bendo. Because, I mean, he didn't even really know which weight class he was going in. He's just signing for some money.
Yeah. And he's not exciting at all.
Yeah, Rory is going over there. He knows the weight class. He knows what he's up against. And he's taking the time to actually heal himself before he actually fights. So I think it's a good thing.
All right.
I just don't want the UFC curse to happen to him over there.
I think he's going to destroy them fuckers.
Man, I might actually pick their champion at 170. That fucking weird, that weird Russian type dude that absolutely crushed Bendo.
Yeah,
I think I might pick him over Rory. Who the fuck knows where this dude's at right now? But anyway, let's jump from one Canadian. Let's jump to the next Canadian. They got GSP officially in the USADA drug testing right now. Looks like it's lining up with a pay-per-view event in Toronto. Meanwhile, the president of the UFC is saying he doesn't think GSP is even coming back. What the hell is going on right now?
Negotiating tactics.
All negotiating?
Yeah, they're just.
Yep.
So it's pretty much a done deal, not even the talking point.
No, it's either. I mean, if it doesn't get done, I mean, obviously some went awry very badly because they're going to make both of them are going to make a ton of money if he comes back. So.
All right. Now, your UFC, I'm going to put you guys in the matchmaker's shoes. Your UFC, you got GSP on the cusp. You got a big Toronto event. Who do you throw GSP in there with on his comeback fight? Do you give him a contender at 170? Do you give him the champion at 170? Do you give him a super fight, a 185er? What are we doing?
You pay him.
Nick Diaz, what do we do here?
You pay him $10 million to fight Anderson Silva.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Or you give him
off retirement?
Off retirement, or give him the belt. Give him T Woods.
T Wood?
I don't know. Yeah.
You let Wonder Boy sit?
Fuck Wonder Boy.
Well,
I like the Silva idea. I think he's been off for a while. Let's see him get a win before he fights for the belt. And I don't even know. Before he was talking about he didn't know if he wanted to fight for the belt anymore. He just wanted a super fight. So
yeah.
I don't know if that's still the case.
No, now suddenly he's saying he wants to come back, fight for the
probably
belt.
Probably because Lawler doesn't have the
run
belt
the whole
anymore.
thing. Yeah, probably.
But shit, Woodley is no punk.
No,
that fucking guy will lay you out too.
I saw Wonder Boy even said if he had the belt, he'd fight GSP even though they're friends, but only for the belt. So even if GSP comes back, takes the title from Woodley, you still got Wonder Boy said he'd take that fight.
I hope so. You fucking don't take a fight when someone's got the belt. You're in the wrong business.
I just want to see GSP do super fights, really.
That's it.
Leave the belts to the kids. Do super fights, make your money. He's not. They already have contractual problems with the sponsors and everything else. He's losing Under Armour. He's losing like all this shit. He's gonna lose, right? Pay the guy a ton of fucking cash. Bring him in. Do a super fight. Silva. I would say Connor, but he.
No, that
I
would
think
be a silly
GSP
fight.
would fucking kill him.
Absolutely.
But those guys, somebody's bringing in a bunch of money. Do GSP versus Ronda Rousey. I don't care. Just bring him in for a super fight.
All right. Cool. Let's move on. We did matchmaking there. Let's jump to a fight that was announced a short time ago. One of Atart's favorite guys, man. He's back in the mix, coming off a wild fight, off a late notice replacement. We got Tony Ferg matching up with RDA in Mexico. Man, it's going to be about to be a barn burner.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's always a barn burner with T. Ferg. I mean,
who we got as a favorite here? Who's a favorite?
RDA is clearly going to be the favorite, I would think.
You would favor him?
Probably.
Yeah.
I like Ferg, but I mean, he's a fucking tough fight.
Yep.
I mean, I'll be rooting for Ferg, but if you betting odds, got to be with RDA.
So, I thought I read somewhere that RDA had a bunch of yes men around him. Is that right?
I don't know, but I
he
saw
cut
something
out
about
some people.
Yeah, and
cutting out. Yeah, he's got to make some changes.
So
it's probably all the dudes that were feeding him them roids. Come off them roids, and now look at him.
Yeah.
Got them fire in them roids. I think that, if he can kind of collect himself and get going again, I think he starches Ferguson.
Think so, huh? Knocks him off.
Yeah.
Ferg comes up short.
Yep.
If my boy Ferg gets it done now, RDA, it's going to be, I don't know where he goes. He's going to be two tough losses. He might lose his fighting spirit.
A descent to awkwardness.
Yeah, man.
We've seen it before, so that'll be an interesting fight.
Well,
but if RDA comes out on fire, Turd Ferguson is in some serious fucking trouble.
I can see it. I can see it either way. If he doesn't, though,
it's good matchmaking. Good matchmaking there.
Obviously, if Ferguson wins that fight, though, he's got to fight for the belt next.
Yeah.
Does he?
It would be 8 in a row, and he beat the former champ.
You got all sorts of fuckery going on in that division, man. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, whether they do it or not, but clearly he's going to be top of the line.
Yeah. Yep. No doubt about it. Let's run that over. Since we're so far behind, we need to review another event, UFC on Fox. We had that go down. That shit was a pretty nice card, man. You had Jim Miller, Lozon. You had Page breaking out against Beck Rawlings. You had Pettis making his 145 debut against Oliveira, and then you had Maya coming in with Condit. Let's start with this Lozon, Jim Miller. These guys ran it back again. First one was a bloodbath. How we feel about this? Lozon take that?
I honestly...
Was it Miller?
I missed that fight. I never saw that.
You never saw that fight?
I came in right after it.
I thought Lozon got the nod.
I thought Miller got enough done. But I saw a lot of people online saying like Lozon got stolen.
28 to 29 media people picked Lozon.
Yeah, I thought Miller.
That's interesting. You said Miller. I didn't.
Yeah, I had Miller. But that's just me.
I kept meaning to go back and watch that, but I haven't yet.
Yeah, and you definitely need to check that one out.
I heard it was a good fight, though. It was fight of the night.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know how it beat Pettis Oliveira because that fight was crazy.
Hey, we'll get to that. We'll jump next up to Paige breaking out with some kung fu shit on some Beck Rollins. Is Paige coming into her own here, or is Beck just trash?
Absolutely not. She's not coming into her own. She did a bunch of fucking terrible techniques, leg twirling around or dancing with the stars shit in the first round. Wasn't even close to connecting. I give her credit on the one she had, but as far as her coming into her own, she better have something better than that because she was getting pieced up, and she got a nice kick in there that ended it. But I wasn't impressed. The kick alone was impressive, but the performance overall,
nah. Just go ahead and washed it.
She got the nod. Everybody thought it was pretty. You know what? At the end of the day, they don't show highlights of her air balls. They're going to show the one that she landed.
Thankfully for her, they don't.
Yeah, they're going to show the one she landed, and that's what's going to make her money. So
look, man, that fight.
Good for her.
The first round was all Shaq free throws.
That shit was hilarious to watch, and I was entertained one way or the other.
Absolutely, she can. She get a better. Beck Rawlings sucks dick too,
though.
Figuratively and literally.
Man, oh man,
very true. Anyway,
these hoes out here.
According to her Instagram.
Well, I look forward to PVZ's next fight, though. I just want to see her.
I think it's crazy alone. You see a KO like that out of any of the men's divisions. You see a woman come out and smack someone in the mouth with a toe and can knock her unconscious. I'm down.
Well, other than Joanna, that's got to be one of the only finishes. In
that's what I'm saying. That shit's wild.
Oh, no, Rose had a couple submission finishes.
Right. But like KO finishes, that's pretty rare.
Yeah, that is.
Especially like a head kick KO type thing. So, all right. Now to the man that everyone refers to as Jay's favorite.
What?
Anthony Pettis making his debut at 145.
Fucking garbage.
I want to know Jay's breakdown here. He hates the fuck out of Pettis, but the guy got it done.
I don't even know who he fought.
Oliveira, who was like ranked
Great
5th
fight.
or 6th.
Yeah.
Did you watch the fight?
No.
You really didn't?
Fuck no. I don't
Oh, my God.
You're a fucking low
Wow,
life.
that's taking hating to the new extreme.
This guy just turned it off.
You watch PVZ, but not Pettis and Oliveira?
Dude, I had an encyclopedia to read.
This
Well,
is
shit,
unbelievable.
you should have done it during the PVZ fight.
Unbelievable.
I had-
this dude dodges on his most hated fighters so frequently.
I had darts to throw. I had chess to play.
Well, you missed a hell of a
I had,
fight.
This is
I had
incredible.
styrofoam to
I
clean.
mean, that was fight of the night.
This is incredible.
It was a great performance.
You're the
I
filthiest of the filthy, no doubt about it.
Thought, yeah. Pettis was very
Can't do
impressive.
it.
I saw the hunger out of him again. He got a little gassed, and I think he
did.
honestly knocked.
Because he hurt him in the first round and
he
went
was
all
jabbing
out.
the shit out of Oliveira.
Oh,
That
yeah.
fucking head was just snapping back. And I honestly think at one point, I think he even said this, that he punched him back into consciousness. So if he would have just stopped punching him, he might have won earlier.
Dude brutalized him. That was a back and forth battle.
Yeah.
That was a real good fight.
I was impressed with Oliveira too. He brought it.
I like watching those guys fight, period.
Yeah.
So they're always exciting.
Him finishing them though with the submission was real impressive.
Snuck that in out of nowhere. So yeah, that shit was crazy. What do you do with Pettis right now though? He just knocked off like 5 or 6.
I like the Holloway fight.
I would World Series a fight. I think I'd send him there, and then
Unplug this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, cut it. Unfortunately, he's got the
mic.
controls, but cut your own mic.
Yeah,
would you?
man. What the hell?
But yeah,
This guy
I like
out
that
here.
Holloway fight. If Holloway doesn't get Aldo,
no.
I want to
Get
hire
Holloway
Rumble
gets Aldo.
Johnson for any time that Jay talks that nonsense. He just catches an uppercut for it.
Holloway gets Aldo, Pettis.
Dude looking like a Pez dispenser over here running that yap.
Pettis gets something out of the Midwest.
Pettis, he's calling for a top 3 guy, man. Do we give it to him?
No, let him fight 2 or 3 more. And
yeah,
then,
if they don't have a fight, why not?
2 or 3 more?
Let him fight a couple more.
No, he don't need a couple more.
He made the weight one time,
He don't need a couple.
and he looked like an Ethiopian.
I
You
give
didn't
you.
watch
I give
the
you
fight.
maybe. I give you maybe.
This
one
guy watched
more.
the weigh-in but didn't watch the fight? Who the hell are you? It's
Anyway,
unbelievable.
He clearly is deserving of a top 5 guy.
Absolutely.
He's a former champ. He had a couple tough losses against the best at 145 or 155. So
Shit's crazy. All right, let's move on. Main event time. Damian Maia, Condit. I don't know what the fuck happened. Condit's soul
Flawless
is
victory.
just
Condit needs to pull the plug.
Jesus.
Just appreciate what he was able to put together during his time.
Fucking guy.
And I think people will praise him for it, say you're awesome, whatever, and they'd respect him more for saying, hey, there might be something wrong with my fucking brain. I got a family. I need to back off a little bit and just be done with this. But if he's already talking about, I don't know if I should be here, whatever, you can respect that. But when it's because your fucking brain's starting to shut off, it's time to stop.
well, he's lost the hunger. I mean, clearly the way
Absolutely.
he talked, and I think skill wise, that fucking can easily fight another 5 years or something.
Easy.
But the
Easy.
problem is when you lose that,
He don't want to do it no
you
more.
lose that hunger, it affects everything. So
Well,
I agree. I think he needs to walk, and he's a smart dude. He can find other stuff to do.
But when he's talking about his brain getting shut off or having headaches and shit like that,
well, he said that Maya, when he had him on the ground, he just had a little wraparound punch, and he said it fucked him all up. So if that's fucking him up
and he
at
took
this
all of about 3 punches that whole fight.
See, that's where you got to shut it off, man. He's got kids or a kid.
He just had a kid 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Lawler out here ruining lives.
Shit. Lawler's going to be in the same boat.
Well, that guy is a barbarian. I don't think he really cares about his brain too much.
Woodley just shifted his whole fucking brain stem.
Guy's got one-track mind.
Yeah.
Kill or be killed.
It's crazy. Lawler's one of the...
Kill or be killed.
It's so weird because he obviously had the Diaz knockdown forever ago. Or knockout, I guess. TKO. But that guy sometimes looks like his chin can't be touched, and other guys he's just fucking completely out.
I don't know, man.
I guess just
crazy.
Like they say, you hit the button the right way.
Yeah. So that was another pretty damn good event. Way better than Chicago's UFC on Fox event. But pretty much all exciting fights on that main card. So
yeah, it was another good
shit
event.
was lovely. Let's run from that to the news about Joe Silva. Been with the UFC for 20-some years. Guy announces his retirement at the end of the year. I'm going to volunteer myself for the replacement.
And I'm gonna.
I'm battling you for it.
I'm gonna ask that they do not honor that because you're gonna put people like Pettis in there, and I don't support that.
Oh, former champion, guy on the front of the Wheaties box.
Who's
one of the most exciting fighters.
Jumped off the
best
cage
highlight
and kicked
reel.
someone.
One of the best highlight reels in the sport. Fuck him, huh?
Gold chains.
My God. Anyway, Joe Silva out. This dude goes way back before Dana and the Fertitta brothers. Been around the game a long time here. Oh, man, is it going to be...
it's going to be just like...
It's going to be a big effect here?
It's going to be just like when Burt Watson left. No effect.
No effect whatsoever.
Burt wasn't doing shit.
It's over a $4 billion company. You don't think that somebody else can put fights together? I think it'll be just as good. I think it'll be completely seamless, and you won't even know.
Well, especially
just like the Fertittas being there or not, nobody even knows. It's still the same shit.
And he's not leaving till the end of the year, so I'm sure he's going to be training someone to show how to do it the last couple months.
Got Sean Shelby in there. He does a good job. I'm sure somebody else, some other millionaire character is going to be in there doing the same thing.
Millionaire character.
Same
Scrooge
thing.
McDuck.
I'm not gonna say anything. It's awesome, but some of the fights he also did were shit. So hit and miss. It's going to be hit and miss with somebody else in there too.
I just wonder how much money he got from the damn payout.
Oh, he got something stupid.
They were saying 0.5% to 1%. 1% would be $40 million, and half would be obviously 20.
I think he
Either
said.
way,
I
that's
think
fucking.
they said like 8 figures or something. So
8 figures. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 figures.
So that'd be
So
8?
at least 10.
Shit.
At least, yeah.
So they're saying at least 10.
Yeah.
You got to retire dad, don't you? I mean, what the fuck? It's not like anyone cares what he does anyway.
Shit, yeah.
His job goes unrecognized, basically. He doesn't talk to the media. You get 10 mil, man. Enjoy your life.
At minimum 10 mil.
Well, that's 10 mil just
He
for,
coulda got
just
80
for
mil,
that. That doesn't
94
count for
mil.
all the money he's made this whole time. The dude is
Shut
like,
it down.
He was probably in good shape before that.
yeah,
so.
just dude. If I had that, I'd be like that damn Blazarian character, just slinging dick and handing out bubble gum.
Why
Just
wouldn't
fucking, just whatever.
I mean,
Dude, and he
I'm
lived
pretty
at-
sure he's got a family.
He wasn't
but
even
yeah.
in Vegas. He was living with his family. He did his job from Virginia.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
There you go. Yeah, but the way the UFC does shit now, these motherfuckers have a show every week.
He was at.
He's got to
most
be
of
out. He's got to be on the road constantly.
them. Yeah.
So let's run to the next news though. We got to keep the rapid fire moving. Shane Carwin comes out, announces UFC chose not to sign him. He's a free agent right now. Shane Carwin out there. Where would you like to see this guy go? Fighting Crow Cop and Japanese cans for Ryzen.
I'm pissed, man.
Fighting Fedor in Russia.
All those
Do you
fights suck.
sign Bellator and give him just random goons like Mitrione? Well, what do we do?
You're
with
pissing me off more
Carwin?
and more. Telling me the other options. He needs to be in UFC where the heavyweight division is on fucking life support. They need people like him. I mean, obviously he's older too, but
He's older.
he's a well-known
He's coming
name.
off injury.
It
He's been
pisses me
retired
off.
for
Yeah,
years.
It's fucking annoying, man. The fact the UFC didn't even find a way to get him back is stupid.
Well, maybe he's just asking too much money right now, man.
But he was under contract, so they had to have bought him out.
Yeah.
I think it's a mistake.
So, well, I think it's smart on his part if they did have to pay him, because he's going to get a paycheck regardless, and he's a free agent.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably will
so
make more.
if-
Bellator.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
he
if-
might
that's
bang
if that-
out a couple random ass fights somewhere, look decent. UFC's like, all right, come on through.
Here's what I want to see: pull LeVar Johnson out of jail, make him fight 2 huge dudes. First person that lands is going to go to sleep. Get him a couple tune-ups, and then
you can't do LeVar Johnson because he's got to. If he gets out, if they get him out, they got to rematch him with his wife. He's got to fight that fight first.
Oh,
got him.
So they got him. No, I think if he's not going to be in the UFC, I think he does 1 or 2 tune-up fights. They'll see how he is, and he might bounce. Unless Bellator says, "Hey, guess what? We got the cheese. Just stay here. Fuck it. Stay there and make money. Who gives a shit? Just knock out fucking cans left and right and make money."
I can see that happening. Bellator will,
and he can just shit all over the UFC if he wants to.
Yeah,
that seems to be the theme. Well, I guess Bendo really didn't. Well, actually, he did. He came out and said some shit. So it's like you get under that fucking strong arm of the law. You go over to Bellator to like talk to the shit. We need the promotion. Talk all you want. Fuck it.
As of right now, I don't think he's doing that because he said they mutually agreed on something. So I think there's still a possibility he comes back, but I don't. It wouldn't surprise me if he just stayed in Bellator because I think they'll fucking pay the shit out of it.
So you both want him to go to Bellator?
I don't want him to go to Bellator, but
I'd rather see him in the UFC. But
for his sake, I can see the money being better in Bellator because he gets sponsors and shit. So
this is what I'm going for. You can't get the UFC contender fights. Send them to Japan and give me the freak shows. Random ass 400-pound sumo wrestlers. I need 350-pound pro Japanese wrestlers, a Crow Cop fight in there in between, and then match them in there with some Japanese can that weighs like $180.
Where are these freak shows at though? I haven't seen these huge.
Oh, they're
Japanese
coming.
Guys.
They're coming. They've been in the past. They're signing random ass people. Shit's gonna be crazy. You're gonna see Jose Canseco, Carwin, New Year's Eve. Look out for it.
The only thing, that's fine. It sounds entertaining.
Well, what about Herschel
Random
Walker?
ass crazy shit.
Herschel Walker being
Herschel Walker.
That's probably
Carwin
Bellator.
would fucking send him back to his football playing days, but I think that the only 2 fights I can think in Bellator are Mitrione and Congo. I really can't think of any other heavyweight.
That dude that Mitrione almost got starched by.
What's that big ass Lashley? Don't they got him? Bobby Lashley?
God. Carwin, well, I don't know. Carwin's been out a while, but if he fights anything like he used to, he'd fucking body all of them. Mitrione might be close.
Yeah, they got a bunch of random ass dudes there. All right, well let's jump from that to we got BJ Penn, and it looks like he's official for a fight in the Philippines, headlining. I don't know why he's headlining, but he's headlining against Ricardo Alames.
I think it's just a fight night or something.
It's a fight night, like fight night.
I can see him.
345.
He's got a huge name, dude.
So
don't surprise me he's headlining.
Mm-hmm.
Out there in the Philippines, does he got any chance against Lamas here?
Well, Jackson's better have revitalized his spirit because if he looks like he did the last couple fights,
man, he's had about 3 fights booked too, and there's been all sorts of random shit popping up, IVs, rape charges. Fucking shit's wild out here, man.
If I were to guess, Lamas was gonna fucking pummel him, but Jackson's is they pulled miracles with other fighters, so maybe they did some with him. I'll be interested to see. I hope they did because
I know BJ Penn is one of Jay's favorite guys. We'll get away from all the people he hates to someone he loves. Man, what do we got here? What kind of expectations, man?
I'd rather not see him fight.
Well, you're kind of
tarnishing his legacy.
Yeah, dude's a legend.
You can go back to that encyclopedia if you want to skip it.
But at the same time, being a legend, that's what I respect about the dude. He's a fucking warrior. He's like, I don't care. I'll fucking fight. I might not be the best I've ever been, but I'll still get in there and fucking throw hands. So you gotta respect that. But Lamas is a tough dude, man. Super tough dude.
And he's a big time wrestler. That might be a problem.
Yeah, because
he hits hard too.
Yep.
Because if he gets BJ down, BJ goes to rubber guard, but he never does anything with it. He's used as a defensive, use it as a defensive tool, and then I hate that. I wish he would actually throw some shit up because
he used to be a fucking jiu-jitsu wizard.
Yeah, he has black belt in like 3 years.
Yeah, and he won the first American, right, to win Brazil or something.
Yep. That was several decades ago, man. He's old now.
You would think
5 years, whatever it was.
I don't know why you wouldn't be offensive from your guard, but whatever.
All right, well, doesn't seem like too many people are excited about this return. So
I'll be excited if I see him fucking
see that hunger back.
Yeah,
that bloodlust that he's known for. You need him licking his gloves.
Yes.
But what if he comes out and just flatlines him?
Yeah, BJPen.com, and then he runs out.
BJPen.com.
I'm full on board, man. I'm on the hype train.
That'd be great.
Title run. Let's go.
All right. Well, there is no title run on the last event that went down. This was a Fight Pass card. We'll give a quick breakdown. I'm not sure if you fellas had a chance to view it. Kind of interesting. We had a Fight Pass card over there in Germany, I believe. Hamburg or some shit.
Hamburger?
Yeah, it was something. We had Bader versus Latifi, the horse god. Latifi was holding his own, doing his thing. Then he went for one too many takedowns and took a fat ass knee to the dome. This motherfucker belly flopped into unconsciousness in the second round.
Yeah, he was open to that the whole fight.
Shit was
Bader
silly.
finally figured it out and delivered one right to his skull.
Man, pieced him up.
Great flop.
That was the weirdest reverse. It looked like a dive, like where divers like stand backwards towards the water and like throw their hands backwards.
Yeah. He went into backstroke.
That like back dive that Greg Louganis looked worse than when Barboza wheel kicked Terry Edom. Like the fall. Because Terry Edom just did the statue arm and went straight back. And Latifi did like the whole, like I'm throwing both hands back, like I'm diving backwards.
Oh, yeah, that shit was silly.
I think I like the statue fall better. I like how he's completely still all the way to the ground.
And he was standing like perfectly erect the whole time. Like he was straight up in that.
Right. And you can only do that when you're completely knocked out.
And then Bisping followed that up with pretty much the same pose.
Good God.
Yeah, Jessica Simpson
on
the television
fellas.
now. Looking all bronze.
In her prime. Anyway.
Looking like Akiyama, all brown.
That was like, look at that, 13 years ago.
I know. She's so great at her prime.
All right. We're moving on. Speaking of not so great, we had Gustafsson coming off like a 10-month layoff versus Jan Blachowicz, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Jan.
Anyone get a chance to view this besides me?
I did not.
Nope.
Man,
I saw some highlights. It looked kind of shitty.
Gustafsson, man.
That was not the same Gus that fought John Jones.
I don't want him fighting anyone in top 3 anytime soon. He was getting worked on the feet. Was smart enough to change the game plan up. Took it down, and basically just laid in guard and dropped elbows to the bell rung. Round after round. So he stood for a little bit. I mean, I think the second round that he stood for only like 20 seconds. And it was either the second or third round. 20 seconds. He took like 2 pops to the nose and took dude down and just hung out for 4.5 minutes. So pretty boring fight. Not that eventful. Nothing impressive by Gustafsson.
Think he's lost it?
Man, I don't know. He's got to get that shit figured out. He's got to get it figured out, man, because I don't think he's fucking with anyone in the top 3 right now. Give him another confidence builder. Go from there. Any of these maniacs out there on Twitter or whatnot calling for Jones or something crazy are fucking out of their minds.
Well, who do you propose? It's got to be a top 10 fighter.
Yeah, give him in the bottom. Give him lower 10 guy.
You give him Bader. Bader.
Yeah, I like that fight. Let's do Gustafsson Bader. That's a good fight. Go with that.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That makes sense.
I like that. Good call there, Joe Silva.
Thank you. Hopefully they hear this. Maybe they'll bring me in. Maybe I can just do my job from here.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Paycheck.
Easy money.
Yeah.
Easy
if they hear you though, I want $1 million at least.
Yeah. Well,
if you get 8 figures.
Part of that too, he goes to all the events and goes in and shakes their hand. I'm part of the contract and bring you 2 with me. So
okay.
We'll be going.
Excellent. All right. Excellent. 3-man roster. All right, into the main event, we had Barnett Arlovsky. Oh, man, this shit was wild.
Blast from the past.
This is a fight that was long overdue. This shit was in the making for like 15 years. These fools finally get it done. Both former UFC champions meeting in 2016, which is kind of odd because they're both way over the hill. But first 30 seconds, both of them got KO'd about 12 times apiece.
Great sequence there.
Holy shit. Turn the lights off, turn the lights back on. It's like when you're a kid, you're just hitting that light switch and just boom, boom, boom. Yeah, man. Shit was crazy. But in the end, that wrestling was too much for Barnett. He got the submission victory, and he's moving on. I don't know where he's moving on to because this heavyweight division is a graveyard resurrection. Everyone's one win away from a belt, it seems. I saw a stat the other day said like 6 or actually if Overeem wins this weekend, they said 7 of the top 10 will be former UFC champions.
It's unreal.
Which is fucking crazy.
And then Barnett ain't even top 10, is he?
Yeah, he's top 10.
Is he?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you might have like 10 in the top 15.
Yeah, because he's like 9 or something.
Oh.
So, shit's wild. But,
they got it. I mean,
what do you do with Barnett now, man? He just knocked off Arlovsky, who's like 4 or 5.
I don't know. I don't even really care. The current landscape of the heavyweight division, below the top 5.
It's so bad.
Below the top 5, fuck them. These fucking football players that can't make it in the NFL, please start training. We need some big guys some young guys to get their shit together and put some life into the heavyweight division.
Anyone with any athletic ability that is
get some linemen, some former linemen
that's under 35 years old that wants to start making a couple mil, man. Just train in MMA for about 6 months and you should be set to go.
Bones' brother.
Holy shit.
I think he's suspended too for.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Jones said he couldn't beat him in a fight. Get that fucker over here.
Arthur?
Yeah.
God, how do we keep bringing up this Jones family? Get them off the podcast.
Because they're all over.
It's craziness.
Give Barnett, give him the winner of this Brown fight that's coming up.
Okay. The winner?
The winner.
Yeah, we're going to have fucking Barnett versus Verdum? Holy shit.
I mean, the division is that bad, man. It's that bad.
I almost say give him the loser.
I don't really care who you give him. Just as long as we keep Velasquez away from a title shot.
Wait, Brown already fought Barnett and elbowed his fucking head into the fucking cage.
Yeah. Well, shit. Verdum's already fought Travis Brown and pieced him up, and they're fucking doing it again in a few days. So
it's like the heavyweight division's like the human centipede of heavyweights.
It really is.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, they just keep shitting each other's mouth.
Yep.
It's crazy.
All right, well, we only got a couple more bits of news here, and we're going to shut this podcast down. But I can't let us go without talking about the latest and greatest news of a former guest of ours, Doho Choi.
Oh.
He's back.
Yeah.
In the news, making headlines. He's calling out A-Tart's boy, Cub Swanson.
He called him out after the fight, too.
He called him out after the fight. He's been on Twitter. He's been doing interviews. And in the latest news, he says he'll KO him in less than 1 round. He can't hang with him for 5 minutes.
And Cub hasn't even responded.
I looked at Cub's Twitter. We had no response.
I mean,
run a scared.
I mean, we got to get him back on the podcast sometime soon to talk about this. Absolutely. Because I think that's an exciting fight. I mean, he's even talking about past that. After he KO'd Swanson and won, he wants Aldo or McGregor. The Korean is looking to make waves in 2017, and I love it.
Damn, he
pretty
thinks
awesome.
He can get an Aldo McGregor fight after beating Cub, huh?
This is what he said.
That's crazy.
I mean, I can't be mad at the guy for aiming high, man.
No. Yeah, he would obviously definitely need 2 or 3 more fights to fight one of them, though.
Oh, no question.
Yeah, I like.
But the guy is
like
going for it. I like it.
Say that shit.
Nobody can stand and trade with the Superboy. Oh. Apparently.
Yeah. So far, that's true.
Yeah. So, man, I mean, does anyone favor Cub in that fight?
Of course, I favor him.
You pick him in that fight?
Yeah. I mean, one person saying what they're going to do, and a guy who's proved what he can do over the last 8 or 10 years.
I will say this: no one has lasted more than 2 rounds with the Korean Superboy. He's KO'd everybody.
Yeah, he hasn't fought anyone at Cub Swanson's caliber either.
That's true.
So I don't know. He could possibly do it, but
I haven't seen his ground game either, except for being stuck on his back or held down for a long time.
He's got a lot of questions that haven't been answered.
Yep. That's what makes it exciting, man.
Yep.
Good stuff. Well, we go from one KO artist to what I believe is the biggest fight announcement news of the last few weeks. We got our first official NYC fight announcement. King Robbie Lawler making the return off his loss to Woodley against
he's not a king
the
anymore.
streaking Cowboy Cerrone, baby. This thing is pure fireworks.
We have to call him Prince Lawler at this point, right?
Yeah.
No, he is forever King the God Lawler. You can never take away what he's done.
Great fight.
This is an amazing fight.
This fight is, I know you jinx it when you say there's no way this fight can be bad, but there's literally no way this fight can be bad.
My only disappointment is that we know a title fight is going to be on that card. We know it's not the main event, and so we have no chance of seeing 5th round Lawler. We're only getting 3 rounds of savagery.
Yeah, that fight is
these two.
To me, that fight's they haven't announced any. I think that's locked in 3rd fight though. I think there's going to be 2 title fights and then that fight.
Man, if they want to do this shit big, it needs to be the pay-per-view opener. I want it to be the first fight on the main card.
If that fight's the opener, man, we're going to have a fucking beast card.
I need the lava to flow.
I can't imagine.
Volcanoes exploding across the globe when these two meet in the middle.
And why the fuck they should have a rule that if it's a fight like this and both fighters want a 5 round, make it a 5 round, care where it's at.
I would love it. I love the way you think, Tart.
I mean,
it's beautiful.
Because both those guys can do it. So
hell yeah, man! Oceans will be boiling when these two throw down in 2 months in NYC.
I think I want that. I would rather it be 3 rounds.
Yeah.
What?
Just 15 minutes of destruction. I don't want to see anybody coasting for 25 minutes. I don't want to see any of that.
Yeah, but none of these dudes, neither one of these guys coast.
Dude, nobody can go out there and go full savagery for 5 rounds.
And with these two guys,
nobody.
I don't even know if it goes through 3
That's
anyway.
what I was about to bring up. Does this thing even go 15 minutes?
No.
Someone's getting killed.
Yes.
Dead in the middle.
I'm thinking 2nd round finish. I don't know who, but either way it can go. I think 2nd round might be it.
Woo. Do we even want to make a fight prediction, or we just want to hold off just sit here with our pants blown off in excitement of this incredible announcement?
I already know which way I'm going, though.
Well, we'll hold off on it.
Yeah, I'm going to
hold off on it.
Yeah,
we got a couple months. Let this thing sit and stew.
When that time comes, I don't want to get too excited.
You keep the listeners on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
what does Jay think? What is he? Which way is he going?
We got to hold off. I want to make sure everybody comes in healthy. All that, and then I'll cut it loose. There's a lot of time.
Let it brew. Let the card build. There's a lot of rumors going on about what's going to be on the card, what's not going to be on the card.
Yeah.
Man.
They got to announce soon, though, because that shit's like
60 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. That's
it's like the beginning of November. So.
8 weeks away.
For sure.
Yep. Shit's crazy. Man, so I think we're officially caught up from our slumber.
Yeah, we apologize for that delay.
Man, but we come in hitting hard and heavy.
Yeah.
So, Jay, you want to hit these folks off with the links where they can catch us at?
Yes. So check us out, mainly on iTunes. That's where we're getting picked up mostly, at the Filthy Casuals MMA podcast.
Tell a friend about us.
Check us out on Stitcher if you use that. We got our RSS feed and on the website as well. And our website is
it filthycasualmma.com, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
So I did the point, and people are staring at me. So it is filthycasualsmma.com. Go on there, and all of our social media links are over on the right-hand side of the page. And if you're on mobile looking at the website, you got to scroll all the way to the bottom. I don't know how to fix that shit. I'm not a WordPress pro. So check us out.
Please.
Be on it. We got the YouTube channel. It's going to be coming in soon. Look out for that. All you YouTubers out there that want to get in these verbal scraps with A-Tart, I know the dude is locked and loaded. He's ready to go.
Squashing these fools daily. Well, actually, just 2 of them, but 2-0 right now.
The man's undefeated. Keeping the streak alive.
I got to find better things to do with my time.
No, you don't.
For right now.
No, you don't. It's a beautiful thing, man. Passion versus passion.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, we'll be back. We'll be back real soon with UFC 203 breakdown. It's coming to you in a few days. We're gonna hit you all with our fight analysis and whatnot. So we're gonna sign off for now, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Peace.